Yeah.
It's George.
It's Elaine.
Come on up.
Hey, buddy, listen to
I never heard anything like this in my life. Listen to this.
This is exciting! This is exciting! Huh? Did I miss anything already?
Kramer, get in!
Where's the crazy man?
Hey, sit down. Come on, it's about to start.
Hello and welcome to Seincast, a retrospective on all 180 episodes of Seinfeld, being hosted by two guys, Snapple,
No thanks.
who can barely run their own lives. My name is Vinny.
My name is Matt. You threw me a curveball there. I wasn't ready.
He got it.
I wasn't prepared to be offered a Snapple.
No, you got it. Have you had Snapple?
I used to drink the iced tea Snapple, the peach low calorie Snapple quite a bit. That was like my go-to when I was working some late hours as an assistant editor. Yeah,
I'm with you. I like the fruit punch was my favorite.
Oh,
And I'm thinking back, and I can just imagine just how much sugar they packed into that drink back in the what would that be, the 90s?
yeah, man. Now you got to get the aspartame. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
I used to buy they sold these really big jugs of it. I think it was like a liter OT.
I know what you're talking about.
Oh yeah, I'd polish one of those off. But I like the glass bottle with the little metal lid. That's what it's all about.
And it pops.
No. Well, we have a lot of news to discuss.
Hey, I got news for you.
Great news. All right, I got news. You ready?
What?
So first off, thought we should mention that Comedians in Cars is going to premiere. Was it June 3rd?
June 3rd,
June
season
3rd.
6.
Cool. We have Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Jim Carrey, Stephen Colbert, Steve Harvey, Bill Maher, and Trevor Noah.
I think his most star-studded to date.
Yeah, or at least
Jim Carrey, that's a huge get.
Yeah, like, I don't know. This is the disc, what is it, disc 2 of season 4
Yeah, there you go.
of Comedians in Cars.
You won't skip any of these episodes.
No, for sure.
I'm really looking forward to that JLD one. I want to hear what they're going to talk about and the kind of rapport they're going to have. And speaking of Julia and Jerry reuniting on Comedians in Cars, they also got together on David Letterman's final show for his final top 10.
Yeah, that's crazy. So last week, David Letterman had his final show like the night before we released our episode. So we didn't get to talk about it. So it's old news at this point, but...
Well, David Letterman's mentioned in this episode, The Virgin, so why not?
Yeah.
Ode to Dave.
All right, let's do it. This is going to take, 4 or 5 minutes. I was thinking we could just play Jerry's joke in the top 10 and Julia's, but the entire top 10, I think, is just hilarious. So why don't we play the whole thing, and then we can talk about it.
What the hell? Play the whole thing.
All right, let's do it.
I think this is a pretty good list, considering it's our last list, and the category, Top 10 Things I've Always Wanted to Say to Dave.
Ah.
Yeah. Now listen to this. Presenting tonight's Top 10 list, 10 frequent late show guests and good friends of ours. Once again, Top 10 Things, and let me just thank them in advance. I appreciate their time, their talents, and their generosity. Top 10 Things I've Always Wanted to Say to Dave. Number 10, Alec Baldwin.
Of all the talk shows, yours is most geographically convenient to my home.
Thank you, Alec. Thank you. Number 9, Barbara Walters.
Okay. Dave, did you know that you wear the same cologne as Muammar Gaddafi?
Yes, Barbara. I do know that. Number 8, Steve Martin.
Your extensive plastic surgery was a necessity and a mistake.
Well, Number 7, Jerry Seinfeld.
Dave, I have no idea what I'll do when you go off the air. You know, I just thought of something. I'll be fine.
Thank you, Jerry. It's very nice of you. I think Jerry may have a benefit later. Number 6, Jim Carrey.
Honestly, Dave, I've always found you to be a bit of an overactor.
Number 5, Chris Rock.
I'm just glad your show is being given to another white guy.
You know, I had nothing to do with that. Number 4, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks for letting me take part in another hugely disappointing series finale.
I had nothing to do with that either. Number 3, Peyton Manning. Oh my God! Look at that guy!
Dave, you are to comedy what I am to comedy.
It doesn't make any sense. Peyton! Oh my God! Number 2, Tina Fey.
Thanks for finally proving men can be funny.
I like that. Things I've always wanted to say to Dave. Number 1, Bill Murray, ladies and gentlemen.
Dave, I'll never have the money I owe you.
Oh, no.
I've watched that thing like a dozen times. I love it, but Julia's line about the final episode of Seinfeld, come on, like that's the best joke of the night, without a doubt.
She knocked it out of the park, and then Jerry upping it with his reaction, and he's watching her, following her back to her place in line. He says, "Come on," you know,
which made me wonder. At the time, I assume everyone knows what they're gonna say. You know, like no one's. Do you think Jerry's reaction was genuine?
No, I think he was in on it.
I would think so.
And it was a great reaction, but I do think he was in on the joke.
When you're worth like what, $700-800 million, I really don't think you care if someone didn't like the finale to your show.
Oh yeah, I don't think so. Larry, on the other hand, I think cares still.
A little bit.
And then Dave actually added to it as well, saying, "I had nothing to do with that."
Yeah, man. It's really sad though to see Dave Letterman go, just because it's just another one of those, you know, fixtures in like American late night TV or comedy in general, and it's really weird, especially as we're going to be talking about him here in a little bit. I guess this happens eventually, right?
Yeah, I don't even remember him being on NBC. I only remember him being on late night on CBS. So
But yeah, it was. I thought it was a really nice final episode, and I'm glad to see how much attention the Julia comment got on online the next day.
Oh yeah,
I'm glad that making fun of the Seinfeld finale is like something everyone can get in on.
It's fair game.
Yeah, like everyone can enjoy it. I think whether you hate Seinfeld or if you love Seinfeld, everyone can bond over their distaste for the finale. Well, Vinny, this week's episode, what do we got?
What do we got? We got the 10th episode of season 4, The Virgin. Story by Peter Melman and Peter and Bobby Farrelly. What is this? Teleplay by Peter Melman, directed by Tom Sharonis, and it aired November 11th, 1992.
Yeah, I never knew how to pronounce their name. Farrelly?
I've heard Farrelly. I'm going with Farrelly.
Okay, cool. Yeah, who are these guys, Vinny? Help us out.
Well, most of us, I think, in our age group, our key demo, would know them as the writers of Dumb and Dumber.
Mm-hmm. You know, it's funny. I think of Something About Mary more than Dumb and Dumber, just because Something About Mary was like that vulgar, raunchy comedy.
They perfected that, and I think all these ones we see today are a result of these two guys.
Oh, absolutely. So let's give this some context, because Peter and Bobby Farrelly weren't, writers on the show, but the reason they share a story credit with Peter Melman is they contributed the idea of Jerry dating a virgin and then, feeling pressure because he would be that woman's first love. I feel like that's a very guy way of looking at this thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I had no idea that these guys were ever tied to the Seinfeld universe.
Yeah, it's weird to go back and see that when you know them from these other hit comedies.
So another bit of trivia that's sort of fun for this week is November 11th, this episode aired, and with it aired another NBC show called Mad About You, Vinny. You know the show, right?
Yeah, Paul Reiser, Helen Hunt, married couple in New York.
Right. Well, they were in their first season while Seinfeld was in their fourth. And either to boost ratings or, I think this is something Mad About You did, they tried to tie all of the NBC shows together.
They also crossed over in Friends, I remember.
Right. Lisa Kudrow is on Friends and Mad About You, but
there you go.
They're twin sisters.
But Helen Hunt and another character from Mad About You also stopped in the coffee shop in Friends as well.
Oh, right on. Well, in this crossover event, Paul Reiser's character in the first season episode, The Apartment, goes to his old apartment building that he sublet out to this guy, and he's going to get rid of the apartment, and it turns out to be Kramer. Where Kramer lives in apartment 5B is where Paul Reiser used to live.
Mm-hmm.
So he meets with them in the hallway. There's some hijinks, some buffoonery, and ultimately Paul Reiser tells Kramer, hey, I don't want the apartment anymore. You can keep it. Kramer's happy, and he gives Paul Reiser's character some Cuban cigars, and they walk off together. It's not that funny, but
yeah, agreed.
It's Mad About You humor. It's not like Seinfeld humor.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But I thought I'd play a clip here because there's one joke here that ties into this week's episode.
What's the matter with you? You know what? It's hard. It's very hard for me to give up this place. I got a lot of memories there. That's a big chunk of my life.
Mm-hmm.
It's like my past.
Whoa.
And it's.
You got a beautiful wife?
Yeah.
You love her?
Sure.
Does she love you?
Yeah.
You got more than 3 pairs of pants?
Yeah.
There you go.
Where?
To the future. I'll mind the past, and you giddy up to the future.
Where? You know what? Let me take one more look. I'm gonna take one look. I'm gonna take one look.
It's for your own good. Come on.
One look.
Oh, future. All right? There you go.
Hey, whatever happened to that Jerry guy used to live there?
He's writing a sitcom for NBC.
Good luck to him.
Does it feel weird though? Like the humor and the lighting is a little off.
Yeah, I can't get over how bright it is. It looks like they're shining a spotlight on these guys, and it's shot really wide. You made a comment earlier about how wide the hallway looks. That doesn't look like the width that we see during a Seinfeld episode.
Yeah,
it's very spacious.
And I wonder how that works with crossover events, because I'm sure they went to the Seinfeld set to film that. Did they have certain rules, like, okay, we have to make it brighter, we have to open up the set a little bit?
Oh man, I don't know. It's weird though.
And there's no need for the hallway to be so wide.
Yeah.
But
so luxurious. Ooh.
Wide hallways.
Yeah.
But I like that last line from Kramer about Jerry writing the pilot for NBC. Thought that was
that does kind of make it more fun. If you are a fan of NBC programming and you see these characters kind of hop around, it makes it feel like this expansive world. So I see the merit to it, and if it worked, if they pulled it off, it'd be a really fun thing to watch.
See, now that I don't care for. Well, only because Seinfeld to me is the better show.
Oh, boy.
And it doesn't need to lower itself to crossovers and spin-offs. And no.
Funny guy,
yeah.
huh?
Well, the only reason I say that is because, Mad About You is the show, I guess, that ties into Friends, and it might tie into a few other shows. I'll allow it to tie into Seinfeld on its end, but I don't want Seinfeld to tie into Mad About You on its end, if that makes sense. Like, Seinfeld never had a character from another show appear on it. Seinfeld was always like the real world. Even the characters watch Mad About You in one season.
All I'm saying is that I like this idea of crossing over. But of course, the shows have to meet your high expectations, is all I'm saying.
But if they all exist in the same world, doesn't that mean like they're all on the same level of quality because they share that world?
I guess. I didn't think that far ahead. All I said was I like the idea.
Apparently, in a later season of Mad About You, Paul Reiser's character runs into Jerry on the street. And it's sort of a big contradiction because at the time that Mad About You episode aired, it was, I think, after Seinfeld's final season, which would have meant Jerry was in prison. He wouldn't be on the street.
That's juicy.
Yeah, alternate universe theory, maybe.
Bizarro, if you will.
Anywho.
We got a show to talk about,
Yeah,
right?
we have a lot of trivia, so let's get started on the show here.
There's no easy way to break off any relationship. I think when you first start dating, they ought to give you 3 get out of relationship free cards. You know what I mean? So you could just go up to the person and go, here you go, I'm sorry. I'll grab the tennis racket. Don't even bother to get up. Have a good one. Sorry. Which is fine, unless, of course, the person you're in the relationship with happens to have a 8 more months of guilt, torture, and pain card. Hold up, I got a little something for you.
I thought this was a fun little stand-up, fun little bit. I felt like he could have really gone off on a tangent with this bit, and it's kind of akin to the, what is the point of dating if there are no games? How do you know who's winning or losing? That kind of thing.
She's got to play. We're playing. Yes,
exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm wanted to bring up. I watched Comedian recently, the 2002 documentary about Jerry Seinfeld and another comedian, Orny Adams, as they, both struggle on stage to, just deal with audiences and come up with new material. And I feel like I'm so critical of these stand-ups when I don't like them. And this is so hard to come up with this material. And I just, I feel like I need to give Jerry a break from time to time, considering, like, when you see what he puts himself through to come up with this material, I'm just in awe. So even when it doesn't work for me, I still love it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's a really cool documentary, especially now, 13, 14 years later. Anywho.
Orny Adams is actually coming to town. This he's going to be at I think DC Improv or Arlington Draft House in Virginia.
You should take your copy of Comedian. Have him sign it.
I don't think so.
Our first scene of this episode is at the Improv. Personally, one of my favorite sets on the show, the bar. Jerry's stressed because it's been a month and they still haven't come up with anything for NBC story-wise. But, George feels like they'll just come up with something tomorrow. Let's do this tomorrow.
I'd like to point out, though, that Jerry doesn't seem all that upset. Given the circumstances, I would be furious at George. Jerry's like, we're dead. And, George says, come on. And then Jerry just goes off on George's jacket that has a ski lift ticket. You know what I mean? Like, he's still curious and has to pick at that thing that's vexing him versus being all flummoxed at the meeting they have tomorrow.
Yeah, it's literally not until they're at NBC that Jerry lays into George.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Like, even 2 hours before the meeting, he's like, all right, let's focus.
Yeah,
let's
exactly.
do this. It doesn't feel like confusing or wrong for the character.
No. Well, even from what we gather in the interviews, the way Larry talks about Jerry, this guy should be talking people, off ledges and from jumping off roofs because he's always calm. He's like, oh, it'll be okay. It'll be okay. So I feel like this is very much in Jerry's real character translating to the show.
And let me go back to comedian real quick. There are a few scenes where Jerry, this, coming off of Seinfeld, driving a Porsche home every night or taking a private jet to his next comedy gig. When he's in a scene with Orny Adams, this 29-year-old struggling comedian who's got, a lot of, I think, like personal issues he's dealing with as a comedian. And the way Jerry talks to him is just, it's inspiring. Even as someone who's not even in comedy, like Jerry gives just such great life advice.
Straight dope.
Yeah, good call. This ski lift jacket you were on about, Vinny. Have you ever been skiing for one, and have you ever worn that lift on your zipper?
I've been skiing. I've had a lift ticket, and I do recall it being kind of cool, but I did not leave it on my jacket for 7 years.
It's only I think 6 years, yeah.
Excuse me.
Let's
I would think they'd thank you. I think they'd reinforce how pathetic this is, but it's very believable that George would do this.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I seem to recall doing this like in junior high or high school.
Mm-hmm.
Hike school.
But
I went skiing actually this past winter. Terrible at it. I was on the bunny slope pretty much the whole time, and they don't do the ski lifts. I had this card that I bought, and you pay for a pass, and you just scan it.
Oh no!
As you go through the gate.
The lift ticket is dead?
Might be. Maybe some places still do it, but I was up in Stowe. It was very like swank and posh, so maybe they are a little bit ahead of the times there. Well, in George's case, though, he's wearing it because he thinks women like skiers, so I guess kind of ties into our MO in the past there, Vinny.
Yeah.
But Jerry points out, hey, you're going out with Susan. You can't really go after other women. And when did this start? We've talked about for weeks now how, George and Susan are dating, and Susan is still with this guy. She hasn't broken it off. And now George is the one talking about leaving her.
Well, it's typical George fashion to have no, concrete reason to want to leave a relationship.
Yeah.
But I think Jerry hits the nail on the head perfectly when he's in the car with Elaine and the Bubble Boy. I don't think he likes her as much as he likes it. So he probably doesn't like Susan all that much, but she is a woman.
Yeah, that's true. George seems to be the guy too, where it's like, he'll hit a high note or he'll level up, and it's not so much of like how long can I have this or enjoy this or I want to stay here. It's I want to get more. I want to be with someone more beautiful or with a better paying job, or it's never good enough for him. So Jerry notices these two women at the end of the bar and points out, hey, I almost went out with one of them. This is Marla, who's in the closet business.
The closet business? What's a closet business?
What's it your business?
Love that line. What is it your business? It's kind of cool that as we delve into the nitty-gritty of each of these episodes, we're starting to hear the voices of the individual writers that come out. You can feel a Larry Charles episode. You can definitely feel a Larry David. This kind of has that Peter Melman touch to it.
Oh, it sure does. So Marla reorganizes your closet and shows you how to maximize your closet space. I think that's a great idea. It's very first world, It's like, I have too much stuff.
Oh, no.
What do I do with all this stuff I can buy? But I kind of like this idea.
I agree. I'll wait till we get to it later. Okay. I don't understand her methods when we get into Jerry's closet. But George sees right through Jerry's BS. He knows what Jerry's up to in terms of, you figured she was good looking, this would be a good way to meet her. Yeah.
All right. Yes, like let me hire this person to do something for me, and then I'll ask her out afterwards.
It's initiated contact, which is the hardest part.
But the issue is she had a boyfriend at the time, right?
And then it hit Jerry. What do I need more closet space for?
Hi, Marla.
Jerry.
George, Marla.
Marla. George. Jerry. Stacy.
Stacy.
Jerry.
George. Stacy.
Stacy.
George.
Jerry. Marla. Stacy.
So, how was your trip to Berlin?
Trip to Berlin?
Remember, that's why you put off doing the closets. You said you were going to Berlin for a while.
Oh, right.
The wall had just come down, and you told me you wanted to be part of the celebration.
Yes, I did. But, I was watching it on CNN, and they covered it so well, I thought, why not my brains out?
You know my boyfriend went.
Really?
Yes, I told him all about you going, and he got all excited and decided to go.
Oh, did he like it?
I don't know. He never came back.
That was a really cute way she said, I don't know, he never came back.
I think this is an appropriate time to talk about Marla because she's something else.
Marla the Virgin, played by Jane Leeves. She's done 4 episodes of Seinfeld, The Virgin, The Contest, The Pilot, and then we'll see her at the end of the series in the finale.
Yes.
She was also in an episode of Mr. Belvedere, Who's the Boss, Blossom, 9 episodes of Murphy Brown. She was in Miracle on 34th Street from 1994.
Yeah.
She was on an episode of The Simpsons. And I think most people will recognize her as Daphne Moon Crane from Frasier. And she does voice work. She works on Phineas and Ferb.
Oh, really?
Which is actually a cool little show. I watched it with my niece and nephews.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good little program. And currently she's on Hot in Cleveland.
Yes,
Betty White.
I've seen who's the other actress on that show?
Valerie Bertinelli and with the big hairdo.
Come on, that's what I'm saying. From Just Shoot Me.
What's her name?
The Kiss Hello.
Wendy Malick.
Wendy Malick.
Hey, that's her real name in the
The Kiss Hello.
That's her name in the show.
I never watched Frasier. I don't know. Did you ever?
Frasier
check that
is
out?
good. So when it was on, I wasn't into it. I was like, it's too intellectual. I don't get it. And then I'm not a smart man.
I need to dumb it down with some like.
That's why I come to Seinfeld.
Take that back.
Yeah.
Don't you mean Friends?
I knew you were going there, and I watched it recently. The past couple of years, Frasier is incredible, and it's so funny. And Kelsey Grammer and David Hyde Pierce, for that matter, steal the show. It's an awesome. That'd be another good show to marathon on Netflix.
Oh boy. Well, maybe we'll get to that series at some point. But
other actresses that auditioned for the role of Marla, the Virgin, Jackie Swanson, who was in Lethal Weapon, and she was in Cheers. She was in 24 episodes of Cheers. She played Kelly Boyd. Does that ring a bell?
I don't think I've gotten to those episodes yet.
Okay. Well, stand by. And Dee Dee Pfeiffer, who was in The Opposite, Michelle Pfeiffer's sister. Mm-hmm. Before you go on, we also got Stacy. Stacy!
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, come on.
Played by Leah Lale, which kind of sounds like a bizarro Vicky Vale from Batman. I don't know.
Okay.
She was in... Shut up. She was in The Jackie Thomas Show, Matlock. She was in D2, The Mighty Ducks. Heavyweights, which is an incredible movie. Little Nicky, VIP, and her most recent credit was in Boston Legal. Or her last credit was Boston Legal 2006.
Oh, very nice. This whole exchange, the whole, like Marla, George, Stacy, Jerry, back and forth, that always reminds me of the clip shows, whether it's the 100 episode or the Chronicles right before the finale. My first exposure to a lot of these earlier season episodes was through those clip shows.
Okay.
Because by the time the show wrapped, I hadn't seen most Seinfeld episodes.
Ah, there we go.
Yeah, so I feel like as soon as, George goes, Jerry, Marla, Stacy, it would then cut to, another episode.
I gotcha.
Anyways, George is talking to Stacy about the deal from NBC, sort of talking a big game. He has this meeting tomorrow, and they have to approve the story before they write it, and I think George is doing a pretty good job because Stacy's pretty impressed, very impressed. George turns it on. Again, it's hard work, but it comes pretty easy to me.
This is his gift.
Yes.
And you notice how he zips up his jacket, making the lift ticket very apparent?
It's a beautiful little shot to get at the end. This whole thing, though, about, it's really difficult, but, for me, it's pretty easy. It reminds me a lot of the whole Guggenheim in the race, where he's like, yep, I did that. It didn't take all that long either.
Now, you want to talk about phony balonies. George Louis Costanza is a phony baloney right here.
Yes, absolutely.
Now, in the clip, we learned that, Marla had this boyfriend who went to see the fall of the Berlin Wall because Jerry made such a big fuss about it. And I was thinking, I looked up, the Berlin Wall came down November 9th, 1989. So that 1989 is around the time that Jerry and Marla met. So this would have been shortly after the Seinfeld Chronicles which aired July 6, 1989, and before the Stakeout or Mail-in Bonding, depending on which episode order you choose to follow. So think about, that's when they first encountered each other.
Nice going, Vincent. I like it.
Thank you.
So technically, Marla has been introduced into Jerry's life during the show. You know what I mean?
Yes, which I always love when that happens.
Oh, that's beautiful. So next scene is at Monk's, and I think the first thing we should point out, Ruthie Cohen.
Is she there?
Yeah, she's there.
I missed her.
She's there. I think we haven't seen her since the trip, part 1, but it's good to see her back. I'm sure she'll be there for the rest of the series.
Now, this conversation we're about to talk about is one of my favorites. It's so good.
Oh, yeah. And another scene, another conversation that shows up in every clip show.
What about Susan?
What? I'm not married. I'm not allowed to go out with somebody else?
Depends.
Depends on what?
On many factors.
Like what?
Well, how long you been seeing her? What's your phone call frequency? Are you on a daily?
No. Semi-daily, 4 or 5 times a week.
What about Saturday nights? You have to ask her out, or is the date implied?
Implied.
She got anything in your medicine cabinet?
Might be some moisturizer.
Let me ask you this. Is there any tampax in your house?
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what you got here.
Yeah.
You got yourself a girlfriend.
Oh, no. Wait, are you sure? A girlfriend?
I'm looking at a guy on a semi-daily with tampax in his house and an implied date on Saturday night. I would like to help you out, but...
Do you believe my luck? The first time in my life, I have a good answer to the question, what do you do? And I have a girlfriend. I mean, you don't need a girlfriend when you can answer that question. That's what you say in order to get girlfriends. Once you can get girlfriends, you don't want a girlfriend, you just want more girlfriends.
You're going to make a very good father someday.
It's perfect. The criteria that Jerry comes up with to define, whether or not you have a girlfriend is pure genius.
Mm-hmm.
And the way they just casually, play off each other. It's, again, we say this every week. These two guys are so believable as best friends. Just talking, just having coffee in a diner. And it's funny. It's so funny.
That one line, this is one of my favorites. I agree with everything you said, but the line, I'm looking at a guy with a semi-daily with Tampax in his house and an implied date on Saturday night.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know why. That's just so... It's very, very Peter Melman. But I would also say a little Larry David, too.
Yeah, yeah.
And I don't know if Larry David adding a little bit here, or if this is Peter Melman, just getting a better sense of, what Seinfeld is, because, being there so early on, I don't think the show had an identity yet.
Mm-hmm. Does now.
Does now. Oh, sure does.
So, as we talk about in other episodes, Larry has these rules, right, that of society, and this is one of those implementation of that. The rules of having a girlfriend. And Jerry's tone that you said, I'm looking at a guy on a semi-daily. That's kind of when Jerry talks to Elaine about, how many dates do you need to go out with a guy before you can break up with him?
Yeah.
And, 7 face-to-face dates. If it was 6, I could have let you go,
Yes.
Same thing.
All of these unspoken rules. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. This is
one other thing. And if you look at the criteria, we got phone call frequency, Saturday night implied date, what's in the medicine cabinet, Tampax. All this is still very appropriate, I think, in today's world. I think the only thing they would have had to swap out was, are you on a semi-daily phone call?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that would be swapped out with text.
Text,
right?
Yes, absolutely.
Or Facebook message, whatever these kids do nowadays.
Right. It's adult too. It's like mature to also say, is there any Tampax in your house?
Yeah.
We've talked enough about Elaine and all of like the kind of cool stuff she brings to the female character on a mainstream sitcom, but I feel like that's sort of like a wall they knock down, to Berlin Wall, to bring that up. You know what I mean? It's just kind of cool how it just rolls off the tongue and you move on.
And this is two men discussing it. Elaine's not even there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's really cool. So George is going to break up with Susan. I guess he's looking for other women at this point. But this means that the script, the pilot, the TV show, it's all out the window since she's one of the execs making the decision whether or not they pick up the show.
And again, Jerry does not seem all that upset. In fact, he finds the whole thing comical. He's like, you see the irony? He's not upset yet.
You have a job that could help you get girls, but you also have a relationship. If you get rid of the relationship so you can get the girls, you lose his job. So I don't know where Jerry's head is in all of this. Maybe he just has faith that they will get the story, like, I don't know, like written, or they'll come up with a good idea before the meeting. He must just have that kind of blind faith that it'll work out.
I also really believe that he is the nucleus of this group, and that like that's one of his big character traits, as well as things really do even out for him. So George is always, the bottom rung of life. Elaine's usually up but can be down. Kramer's always doing his own thing. But Jerry is he'll always be okay out of all of them, I think.
You're right. And it's almost because, Kramer technically is the one who is like, who doesn't play by society's rules. He's sort of like broken off. But I think Jerry kind of proves, even though being a stand-up comic is really hard and it's stressful and unpredictable, maybe like having a desk job in like corporate America isn't the answer either to, happiness or security. Anyways, getting a little preachy there. Sorry. So George wonders if, he could break up with Susan and still remain friends, but he's got this idea. She's got this big crush on David Letterman, who at the time was still at NBC. What if George approaches him, in the office and explains the situation? David and Susan meet, fall madly in love. She dumps George for Letterman, but he's just thinking here.
But the fact that George says, I go up to David Letterman, he works for NBC, I work for NBC. You know what I mean? He's been a writer for 3 days,
a month,
a couple weeks. The guy's mind, it baffles me, but it's hysterical at the same time.
So when he's like, I'm just thinking, you think that he actually wants to do this? Like, this is a serious plan?
Oh, yeah, that's an option for him.
Yeah. Well, he has a short window here because I guess Letterman would leave NBC within the year.
Yeah.
By the following fall of 93. So I like, though, that Letterman has a presence this episode, and we will see him on Seinfeld.
That's right.
Later on, which is kind of cool.
So we'll see, not only do we see Letterman, but we'll see Jay Leno at a point, right?
Yeah, we will.
And any other late night hosts make an appearance or talk show hosts?
Oh, we have Regis and Kathy Lee.
There you go.
I think that's about it, though.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Mm-hmm. So we then cut over to Jerry's apartment, and here's a weird shot, a rare shot at that. It's Jerry's bedroom, like his bed and the closet.
Yeah, you get to see it from a different angle. Normally, the only time you'll be in Jerry's bedroom, you'll see him laying down on his bed
with Kramer or Elaine, I guess.
There you go. But now we're seeing a wide shot of Jerry's open closet. You can see what's he got in there. There's a Porsche poster.
Mm-hmm. I saw a few photos of cars and baseball players on the outside too, but I think I'm drawn to that line of white Nike sneakers on the top shelf, though.
Why so many shoes?
Yeah, I don't get it.
He's got a Peter Pan complex.
And, I think we brought this up before. There were a pair of Nike Seinfeld shoes, like Air Seinfelds.
Yep.
With Jordan on the side.
Made custom.
Yeah, made custom. I wonder if those are up there. I couldn't tell.
Oh, that would have been fun to look at.
Yeah, pretty cool. Well, so Marla's taking measurements, and are you very fussy about your pants? That's my British accent. Sorry. She's got this radical idea. She proposes they, eliminate all of this, the hangers, the bar, the shelves, and in its place install a series of hooks. They'll put everything on hooks.
Everything?
Everything.
You're quite mad,
I like that.
We could get 80 hooks in here.
God. Could this work, though? Could you eliminate everything?
How the hell is she going to do that? I don't get it. Show me the hooks. I don't get it. I think Jerry's getting gypped over here is what's going on.
Well, I've seen shoes hanging on a door before.
But pants and shirts hanging from a hook?
Yeah, that's no good. I would just fold them.
Anyway.
Yeah, okay.
Let's move on.
So Jerry hears someone enter the apartment, and he's annoyed to find Kramer on the couch watching TV.
What's he watching?
Bold and the Beautiful.
Now, do you remember this callback?
Oh, I do, my friend.
Let's talk about it.
Is this the robbery?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. What was the situation there?
During the robbery episode, Kramer was watching The Bold and the Beautiful in his apartment, and he came in to get a spatula, and he left Jerry's apartment, just left the door wide open.
Wait, he left the door open, or he left the lock?
The door.
It's a nice callback.
Everything's gone. Yeah.
And it also kind of ties into Kramer wanting to be the stand-in. I don't know if that's The Bold and the Beautiful.
I think it was Young and the Restless.
Yes, I think you're right. Well, he gave his TV to George, apparently, because he was addicted to it, and it was destroying his brain cells.
Oh, and this actually upsets me because the way that it's brought up, it's as if this particular story point was referenced or should have been referenced in a previous episode.
I agree.
And I feel like that's something, and they could have laid the groundwork for this in an earlier episode and had Kramer addicted to television and give his TV to George.
Yeah, it is. It does seem a little shoehorned in there. You know, it's not like a huge leap where it's like Kramer suddenly got a job at an office. You know, wait, what?
Yeah. He does that, though, in an episode.
That's true. But there's enough setup to see that, happen. This does seem a little bit out of nowhere. And, Kramer's storyline for this episode is pretty weak in general. It's just him watching TV.
True.
But there are some really funny Kramer lines where Jerry's like, hey, why don't you go outside? And he's like, there's nothing for me out there. That's a very Michael motion as he, just pushes it away.
Weather doesn't do it for me.
Yeah. Well, eventually Jerry kicks him out, and Kramer kind of gets the hint, as this is happening. Oh, Marla.
Good reactions from Michael as well.
Oh, yeah. Like, the audience goes nuts when he leaves. And I'm like, did that really deserve a round of applause? He wasn't doing anything.
Well, I just meant the way he, the first time Marla appears with his, whoa.
Yeah.
And then when he leaves, he turns around and he's doing that kind of Kramer thing that he does.
Right.
It's very, very good.
It's great, but it is minimal. Like, it's really subtle. And I feel like this is that time when the Kramer character is just getting so big.
Yeah.
That the audience is eating up anything he does.
He's acting without acting.
Yes.
I just realized that in this scene in particular, Jerry is probably wearing his most iconic outfit: blue shirt, black pants or jeans, white sneakers.
Next time we're together and we go out, I'm going to wear this outfit.
You going to wear that?
Yes, and just try to embarrass you.
We keep saying we want to do the Seinfeld gang for Halloween.
Yeah.
Gotta make this happen.
I can see it happen. Well, so Jerry probes the subject here about, Marla being left for a wall. And she explains that, the relationship was going to end anyway. There was this problem. And what a great gag here. And this is very real life, too. You're in the middle of a conversation and someone calls, or in this case, Elaine buzzes.
He buzzes. Come on up. I'm sorry, you were saying, and she continues her story, and then
another buzz.
Oh, what?
I didn't get it.
That is just genius.
Oh, yeah, I love that. And, well, here we go.
So you were saying there was this problem.
Well, he wanted me to move in with him.
Snapple?
No thanks.
Go on.
Well, I wouldn't move in because...
Yes?
Well, because...
Yeah?
Well, because I'm a virgin. Hello!
Hi, Marla, Elaine.
I'm sorry, I didn't know you had company. I just wanted to return your tape.
Oh, thanks a lot. 2 weeks late. Now, it cost me $35 to see Havana.
I'm sorry, I really am. I just kept forgetting.
I should be going.
No, I'm leaving.
I like that thing in your hair there.
Oh, yeah? This woman was selling them at this crazy party I was at last night. You'll appreciate this. Snapple?
No thanks.
I was talking to this guy, and I just happened to throw my purse on the sofa, and my diaphragm goes flying out. So I just froze, staring at my diaphragm, it was just lying there. So then this woman, the one who sold me this hair thing, she grabbed it before the guy noticed. So, big deal, right? So I carry around my diaphragm. Who doesn't? It's a big, big secret that women carry around their diaphragms. You never know when you're gonna need it, right?
Did you notice that?
There's a couple. Yeah, that's one thing I noticed.
A little callback to was that an episode we already had? One of her boyfriends used to do that.
Yeah, she does that drink sound that Alex in her art history class does, which she hates. That's why she had to drop the class. It's the one with Joel Rifkin.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, where they're coming up with
Ellis and Alex are not even close.
Remy, with the alternate names. Right. I like that little addition.
That's one thing I noticed. Did you notice Elaine says diaphragm and enunciates it diaphragm 4 times for effect?
Oh yeah, she knows what she's doing.
Yeah. And the other thing I noticed, her birth control method differs from what we most commonly know her to use.
Of course.
The sponge, the Today sponge.
Yes. When I was a kid watching this episode, I had never heard of a diaphragm before. So like I totally attribute like this scene to educating me on it. Like
thank you, Peter.
Yeah. I love it when like a show can do that. Seinfeld, Simpsons has done that many times. But yeah, this is such a great scene. And you have to feel so bad for everyone involved because, Elaine's not like just doing this on purpose, and Jerry and Marla, of course, are very embarrassed. Marla especially. But have you done this before where you just, of all the things you could talk about, it's the one thing you shouldn't be talking about?
Yeah, why don't you keep your big mouth shut? Yeah, I've had those moments.
But you have no way of knowing.
Even the way Elaine enters and she says, hello, it's indicative of kind of what's going to play out, of her making Marla feel so uncomfortable that she has to leave. And the other thing I noticed, Jerry said, Elaine's like, I didn't know she was a virgin. And Jerry says, it's not like spotting a toupee. Jerry can spot guys who have plugs, in the busboy, plugola.
Or rat's nests on their head.
Yep. And he also believes he can spot a lesbian.
Oh, yeah.
Over there in the implant.
Good call. Well, so understandably, Marla gets out of there pretty embarrassed, and Jerry tells Elaine that she just told him that she's a virgin. And, Elaine didn't know, as you mentioned earlier, Vinny, and she feels really bad and runs off to apologize out of fear of seeming anti-virgin. And Jerry buzzes up George, and we transition into that great scene of George looking out the window going, she's a virgin? Which I know isn't a laugh out loud moment, but I love that because of the blooper, right?
Oh, yeah. I cannot help but think of we're doing this a lot lately. I guess because the bloopers are getting better, and we're getting more blooper content now with each season. Mm-hmm. But George, or Jason, he says the line, she's a virgin, and he goes to pull the blinds down, and they don't come down. He's pulling the wrong way, and he keeps trying and trying and trying. He finally gets it, and then he turns around and he goes, what? Something wrong with that? And Tom Schronis is like, let's do that again. So can't help but think of that when you see this scene.
Yes, again, couldn't recommend checking out the bloopers any more than we already have. But George is shocked that Marla's a virgin, and Jerry is really attracted to her because of the British accent. And they don't get into this too much this episode, but I guess the whole issue here is, would you, could you be someone's first love? Could you take someone's virginity, especially like in your mid to late 30s?
There's the Farrelly brothers coming into play.
Yeah, which is a little like not something I remember like, oh yeah, that's totally a situation I'd find myself in. But George,
George, you're more on George's side then.
Not really. It's just the topic in general. Like I never would have like thought about that. Which is unfair because I'm sure there's many people at mid to late 30s who might be virgins. They made a whole movie about it, 40-Year-Old Virgin.
There
but
you go.
George is the funny one because he looks at it as, they always remember the first time. I don't want to be remembered. I want to be forgotten.
You got none of that pioneer spirit.
That actually I do kind of relate to. I understand where George is coming from there. Maybe because it's like we're two guys talking about like a woman's virginity. Like just something about that seems really off. Maybe some of our listeners agree. I don't know. But you don't find this to be like a weird topic for Seinfeld to be tackling? Because they don't get into it that much other than I'm a virgin.
I can't go through with it.
Sex isn't an icky subject for me, but I think the idea of like...
But if it's the second time and beyond, it's okay, but the first, not so much?
Yeah, only because, there is pressure. added to the fact that she's a virgin and Jerry's going to be the one taking her virginity.
Is it because Jerry and George are not so nice guys? Is that what you're getting at?
Could be, yeah. Like if
they were better individuals.
If Jerry were a virgin, I think it would be much more comical and funny because they're like, I don't know what to do. Whereas
what's the deal with virginity?
Well, anyways, let's go to this broad noodle here. But anyways, the meeting's coming up that afternoon. They have 2 hours pretty much. They have to come up with a story. They decided to order some Chinese food. And Jerry calls Kramer to see if he wants any. And before he can finish the sentence, the K-Man slides right through the door.
Epic slide.
Indeed. Wasn't there an episode recently where we commented that's the best Kramer slide? This is incredible, though. I think his distance, it's got to be 10 feet through that doorway. George is going to order a chow fun, which is a broad noodle. And Kramer doesn't want a broad noodle, but George is like, fine, I'm getting it. You can't have any. And Kramer's like, well, I'm having pea pods. You can't have any of my pea pods.
Get extra MSG. We see Kramer and George kind of go back and forth over the noodle pea pod debate.
Of course. And does that name Chow Fun sound familiar to you?
That's a movie, isn't it?
It is. I wanted to Google
that. When does the 9:30 Chow Fun start?
Yeah, I don't know. I wonder what Chow Fun was about, too. Maybe it was about a broad noodle. Well, we cut over to Monk's here, and it's funny. I was sort of, feeling a little icky about the whole virginity subplot. It's just a little weird to me. I love this. This is a first, a girl dynamic in the diner. Mm-hmm. It's kind of a female Jerry and a female George. This is what the girl's perspective would show. Mm-hmm. Yeah, which
Elaine with her girlfriends.
Yeah, we really don't get a scene with Elaine and a friend in Monks. You know what I mean?
I wish we could see more of that, but unfortunately, Elaine is a man's woman. She hates other women. They hate her right back.
Yes, exactly. And in this scene, she's teaching Marla all about the complexities of sex. We have how it's, how it's a bit overrated, and how particularly how the man changes into a completely different person 5 seconds after it's over. And she definitely hits home. They usually leave, but the smart ones, work on their getaway stories during dinner.
It's all this notion about being up early. Suddenly they turn into farmers.
Sounds like Elaine is just a little jaded, but I'm sure most people dealing with insensitive guys can probably relate to this. But Marla's hanging on to her every word, isn't she?
Yeah. In the subway, she says she hates men, but she's not bitter. She sounds a little bitter here.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, absolutely. And I think we'll see that more and more as the show progresses. Elaine gets more bitter. We pop up to the apartment, and it's crunch time. Jerry and George, again, have 2 hours to come up with one idea. The food finally arrives, and Jerry buzzes up the delivery. And here we go. I was looking forward to playing this clip because this is the first incident of one of my favorite Seinfeld jokes.
Hey, what about this? I'm in a car accident. The motorist is uninsured. You with me?
Yeah.
My car's totaled. It's all his fault. Now, he has absolutely no money. There is no way that he could pay me. So the judge decrees that he becomes my butler.
Your butler?
Right. He cooks my food, he cleans my house, he does all my shopping for me, and there you go. That's your program.
What about me?
Don't worry, we find something for you.
That's the stupidest idea I ever heard. Sentenced to be a butler. Hey, what happened?
There was a bit of an accident.
Head hurts. Head really hurts. What happened?
Marla and I went out for coffee, and afterwards I was crossing the street, and he was biking right towards me, so I got out of the way just in time, but then he ran into a parked car, he hit his head, and everything went flying.
Something happened to the food?
It only saved one bag.
Should I call an ambulance? Do you want to see a doctor?
I'll get some ice.
The pea pods? All you saved was the pea pods?
So we get the infamous butler subplot for the cherry pilot.
Butler. Mm-hmm.
I love this. I don't know why. It's so stupid. Are you a fan of this thing or not?
It feels less grounded in reality. Because I feel like Larry would not do this in real life, pitch a butler story.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it kind of makes it feel more like Seinfeld as a TV show versus a quote air quotes realistic look at a comedian. Does that make sense what I'm trying to say?
Are you saying like the show's getting a little wacky, a little absurd here?
Just this idea is absurd. Like I don't see Larry and Jerry pitching this idea in real life to NBC. I do buy George and Jerry pitching this to the fictional NBC.
Oh, sure.
Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think what's so great about it, though, is it's so stupid that they're actually going to, like, run with it. You know what I mean? And we're jumping ahead here. It actually, like, works
Kills.
for the execs, which I
They got
think
nothing else, though.
But it's such a great commentary, I think, on just, like, how the entertainment business works and how it's the stupidest ideas somehow make it.
Mm-hmm.
And also, like, logically, how that makes no sense whatsoever.
No.
Like,
Judges just making up rules.
I just got a new car insurance policy. I should have brought this up. Like, can he become my butler if he doesn't have car insurance? We should also mention in this scene, we get Ping. The return
Ping's
of
back.
Ping.
Ping Woo. This is his second of 4 episodes in Seinfeld. He was first seen in the tape, came back in the Virgin. Then we're going to see him in the Visa and the pilot.
Yes.
And I already did my little spiel for him, but Hunt for Red October, I Love You Man, Bubble Boy, Horrible Bosses 2, Californication, How I Met Your Mother, Anger Management, Desperate Housewives, Castle, The Shield, 2.5 Men, 24, and my favorite, he was the proctor for Maggie Liser's law exam in Arrested Development. So he worked alongside with Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
I thought this was interesting that they brought Ping back. This is kind of like it's not that deep of a pull, but it wasn't necessary either.
I kind of like it. Makes it feel like he lives around the neighborhood. He works there. He's going to deliver there more than once. Right. And it's setting up the arc that we'll see. He's got a sister or cousin.
I think it's his sister.
Okay. Cheryl Wu.
Maybe not. Well, anyways, Kramer enters and, he's really happy that he's got his pea pods. And again, we get more of this ping pong back and forth between all the characters. Kramer's watching his TV. Elaine and Ping are going at it about, jaywalking. She's like, hey, you ran a red light. And he's like, no, I had a green light. You were jaywalking.
Did you notice how Kramer's rubbing it in George's faces?
Oh yeah. with the pea pods?
Yeah. He's like, oh, that's too bad.
Interesting, too, that we're getting the germ for the lawsuit that we'll see play out a little bit in the Visa.
That's right. Plant the seed.
Good to note. Well,
I never noticed at the end of the scene, Kramer's watching TV and he says, hey, look, an hour with Patrick Swayze. I've watched this show for however many years it's been on multiple times. I never recall hearing Patrick Swayze's name being uttered.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh. It's kind of funny. It is sort of a random poll, too. I guess, was he being interviewed?
It was an hour with, yeah.
Maybe it was like Point Break or something had just come out. Mm-hmm. Well, we get an act break, and we're at NBC, Rockefeller Center. We're in the office. What'd you say?
I said, dooba-dooba-da.
What's that?
The beginning of 30 Rock.
Oh, sure. I've never seen it.
You haven't?
Nope, never seen it.
You haven't seen 30 Rock?
Nope.
Really?
Yeah, I've always meant to watch it, but Jerry and George are in that little waiting room area, and it's the same set from before. Remember when they ran into Joe Davola? But this time it's a little different. We've got Sisters? Remember that show, Sisters? Law and Order. What else you got up there? Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, I think, is in the hallway.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess some other show called I'll Fly Away.
I'll Fly Away.
Yeah. Do you know that one?
Nope.
Yeah, me either. Only ran 91 to 93. Anyways, remember we were talking about earlier, Vinny. Jerry has never been upset at George, other than the time he had that outburst, like, what was going through your mind?
Yeah.
You have no integrity. And the whole, deal, the negotiating. But he's really upset this time, I think.
Oh, now he's at the appropriate level of frustration that I think he should be.
Mainly because, and this is something you brought up really early on when Jerry actually brought George in the fold, was, Jerry's reputation is at stake here.
Yeah.
He is a working comedian. He's been on TV before. George has nothing going for him.
Does he even have a job now, George?
No, this is it. George hasn't had a job, well, I guess since the Red Dot when he worked at Pendant Publishing, but
Yeah, briefly.
he hasn't had like a full-time job since season 2.
Yeah, George is going to try and feign illness and say his back is acting up. I can't believe my back.
My back. I love that.
And then Jerry's like, no. And George says, all right, I'll tell him my sister died. My poor sister. She was standing and then she was laughing and they shot her.
Yeah, that's
what
great.
What kind of a sick city is this? They shoot you for laughing.
They can't afford to show it. George spots David Letterman and runs off. And then we get another appearance of Julie Claire. Remember her?
Oh, I remember her.
From before as the receptionist, Mr. Seinfeld.
Yep. This is her probably second episode, if you will. She was in The Pitch/Ticket, The Virgin, and then we'll see her in The Invitations as a waitress.
That's right.
She was in the 3 episodes of Curb as well.
Now, before Jerry goes into the meeting, we get that one line that you love so much, Vinny, and I feel like both of us always tend to screw up.
Yes, I was very wise to hitch my wagon to his star. Great line, nonetheless.
Yeah, great line. But Jerry enters the meeting.
No Russell Dalrymple. We have Rita Kierson, who is filling in for Russell. Apparently, there was a problem on the set of Blossom, so Russell had to head out to L.A.
Wonder what that problem was.
Poor Blossom. So we got Stu Shermack, Kevin Page. We got Jay Crespi, played by Peter Blood, and Susan Ross, Heidi Swedberg. Rita Kierson is played by Anne Tourney. She was in 2 episodes of Seinfeld, The Virgin and The Pilot. She was in an episode of The Cosby Show. Matt, I'm doing this to you every week. She was in a 1985 Twilight Zone.
Oh, wow.
She played Nola Granville in the segment Her Pilgrim Soul.
I don't remember that
Does
one.
that ring a bell?
No.
5 episodes of L.A. Law. Seems like everybody's in L.A. Law.
Yeah.
She was in the TV movie Rear Window from 1998.
Oh, yeah, that's a turd.
She was in The Scout, the Picture Perfect, Law and Order, and Third Watch.
Oh, cool.
And did you notice Susan's unbridled enthusiasm when Jerry mentions that, George went to go say something to David Letterman?
Oh, right, yeah.
David Letterman's on the floor?
She is just poor Susan because this, I think, is the final scene where we'll see Susan like truly happy, or at least like her old self, because
before
things really just like
before the camel's back is about to break.
Yes. Before we get into the scene, though, real quick, let's talk about this Rita Kierson and a little bit of trivia here that I never knew about.
Nor did I.
Can you, just because you're a little more articulate than I am?
Lucid? No, I don't think so. Not tonight. Apparently, Russell Dalrymple, played by Bob Balaban, he was supposed to appear in this scene. But Bob Balaban had some scheduling conflicts. He couldn't make it. And there were some attempts to actually recast the character of Russell for when Bob Balaban would not be able to make it. But instead, they decided to just create a new NBC executive. Had they recast Russell with a different actor, that would have pissed me off so much.
Makes no sense whatsoever to recast.
And in the Seinfeld universe that we live in, and knowing kind of the type of writer that Larry is, I'm surprised it would even got that far. I'm hoping he's the one who kind of put the kibosh on it.
Well, we don't know how far it got. Maybe it was just like one person's suggestion, or they're like, do we recast or do we bring in a new character? It was maybe those were the only 2 options, and they obviously knew to bring in a new character. But if that did happen, come on.
Oh,
what
God.
What are you doing?
Yeah. Nice.
It's different with like Lloyd Braun, for example, because those were seasons apart. We don't know what happened to the original Lloyd Braun actor. Maybe there was something about the newer actor that they liked, but oh my God, if all of a sudden it's, I don't know.
Yeah, it's like an episode away, removed.
We last saw him in the Watch. Yeah, just like 2-3 episodes ago. And I'm so glad not only that they brought in a new character, but they cast, what's the actress's name again?
Anne Tourney.
Now, I mentioned back in the pitch how much Russell scared me, when he's just standing or sitting there, kind of like sizing up Jerry and George, and that line where they're like, where George is like, you're watching it because it's on TV. And Russell goes, not yet.
Yeah.
There's something about him that's so scary there. Rita, however, is to me chilling. as we'll come to see here at the end of this clip.
Have you ever been to a Chinese restaurant and they tell you to be like 5 minutes for a table and you wind up waiting there for like 30 minutes? Well, we thought it would be very funny to do an entire show where all you're doing is waiting for the table. Because we've all been in that situation. You know, you're waiting and you're hungry and you bump into somebody you know. When is Russell coming back?
So that's the idea?
Well, no, that's one. We have many others. We have an idea where I get into an accident with a guy who has no insurance, and the judge sentences him to be my butler. You know, and he cooks. So he has to cook for me, and then he's cleaning my house, and he's doing my shopping. You know, and I'm walking around with one of those big neck collars.
Those collars are funny. You just see somebody in one of those collars, you start laughing immediately.
You tell them about the butler story? Oh, is that beautiful or what? Hey, I'm sorry I'm late. Russell?
So I love that little Easter egg there. The Chinese restaurant plot returns.
Yeah, actually a nice subtle jab at the real life studio execs at NBC. They were not keen on that episode when it first was written. Mm-hmm. They wanted to not even air it. But the episode was so well received that the Seinfeld writers decided to pitch it to the fictional NBC execs.
And probably react in a very similar way.
Yep. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I love that part at the end too of the clip that I played of George just kind of like trying to make everyone laugh. Russell,
yeah,
and they all start laughing.
And did you see Rita's face?
Oh yeah, she doesn't look too happy.
She's not amused.
This is like the little moment. This and another moment where she just scares the crap out of me, man. Like even more than Russell, she is so intimidating.
Yeah.
George walks around. He shakes Jay's hand, shakes Stu's hand, Rita's too, we should add. And he makes one, I don't know if it's a big mistake or maybe a good move on his part. He kisses Susan right on the lips.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so awkward, man. Stu and Jay look at each other, and you get that shot of Susan laughing nervously and looking over at Rita, and Rita's just staring at her, not blinking.
Yep.
Oof. And we get that return of the joke right at the end.
And that's what I wanted to bring up. Earlier in the episode, George pitches this idea to Jerry, and Jerry says, "What about me?" And George says, "Don't worry, we'll find something for you." Tables get turned. Jerry pitches this idea to the execs. They love it. And George asks Jerry, "What about me?" Jerry replies with,
"We'll find something for you." I feel like almost every episode for season 4, you've brought up one joke that gets repeated again. You know what I mean? Always from a different point of view, or, you know, the other character saying it to the original. So next scene is at Jerry's apartment, and Jerry and George arrive home after the meeting. Turns out David Letterman didn't like George's idea, and actually told him next time he should probably break the Prozacs in half. I love that. I love that line, but what does it mean? Like, is
taking too much?
Meaning like he's too excited, or he's too happy?
It's a SSRI. It's supposed to increase your serotonin levels.
Yeah, so you're not depressed, right? Are you charged? Are you like...
Well, when you first start it, there's an initial point of, like excitement. It can be stimulating.
So that could be the joke, right? Like...
Perhaps, yes.
Maybe like you should cut your Adderall in half, or...
Well, you know what?
Switch to decaf.
Yeah. Decaf left, regular right. I guess the conception being that if you're taking too much antidepressant, you're so up that he's all up in David Letterman's face. Here, take my wife. Take my girlfriend Susan. That's probably why Letterman is saying break the Prozacs in half.
Yeah, and funny enough though, I could actually hear David Letterman saying that.
Yeah, I agree.
Very sarcastic. Also, Kramer's watching Jeopardy, and he's already annoying Jerry a little bit by shouting out all the answers. Susan left a message for George to call him, I guess, and he calls her back really excited in typical George fashion because he thinks, but we sold the hell out of that butler idea.
It's Georgie boy, of course.
Hi, it's me. It's Georgie boy. What's going on?
What's going on?
What's going on? I'll tell you what's going on. I'm fired.
Fired? Why?
Because you kissed me. You kissed me, you stupid idiot. Rita called Russell and he fired me over the phone.
What is pie? Giddy up again? I'm killing, man.
But I had no idea. I didn't realize.
Realize? How could you not realize? You're stupid. You are a stupid, stupid man.
I just feel terrible. This is just terrible.
What is it, cha-cha? Yes, indeed.
I'll speak to you later.
This is great! He fired her! This is incredible! He fired her! I'm out, baby! I'm out!
Why'd he fire her?
Because I kissed her in the meeting! Russell found out he fired her over the phone! Finally, my stupidity pays off!
What is? Here come the George! Here come the George!
You can't break up with her now. Her life is shattered. You got her fired. You got to be there for her.
What?
You got to at least wait until she gets another job.
Another job?
Couple of interviews.
Oh, this is unbelievable! I'm stuck! Every time I think I'm out, they pull me back in.
What has this been? 4, 5, 6 episodes of Susan just totally getting screwed over by George.
And this is the first that she seems to be bothered by it. Everything else has kind of fallen by the wayside.
Yeah, but this was the straw that broke her back, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe the other stuff didn't really affect her. As Elaine will put it later, she was vomited on, cabin burned down, father is a homosexual.
And now she got fired from a high-paying network position.
Yeah, it's really sad. And I wonder, in a weird way, is this kind of like the moment where we kind of lose the old Susan? We'll see her again.
Yeah, the first death of Susan.
Yes, the death of Susan's soul, as it were. I feel really bad for her. She really gets unfairly knocked around. You know what I mean? She's obviously very intelligent and good at her job. It's a shame that she had to lose it. But
her soul, Matt. Susan's losing a piece of her soul.
Right. Well, George is thrilled about it. Like, I kissed her in the meeting. Russell found out. He fired her over the phone.
And we get one of George's babies. I'm out, baby. I'm out.
But hang on, though. Jerry's like, you got to be there for her. And he says, oh, great, that Godfather Part 3 line of every time I think I'm out, they pull me back in, but it works, right?
I like it.
Mm-hmm. It almost feels like an original line in Seinfeld. It doesn't feel like they're referencing anything.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Speaking of endings to the scene originally had an ending where Kramer told George and Jerry, guys, can you keep it down? And Jerry, being so annoyed with Kramer, unplugs his TV, wheels it out into the hallway, and Kramer protests and, says, no, I don't want it. But as Jerry makes it to the door, Kramer says, the VCR too?
Yeah.
Which is kind of a cool little way to end the scene. I think that would have also played well.
Yes, definitely. I saw the deleted scene, and it falls a little flat, but at least brings some closure to the Kramer storyline this episode. And the shot, too, of Jerry, wheeling the TV out, disconnecting it, you see a little bit more of the apartment set than you normally would. A little bit more of that wall over by the kitchen, which is always a little weird because you're like,
I like that.
How big is this apartment?
Yeah, it just keeps going.
Keeps going and going.
Goes back like a tooth.
So later on, we're still in the apartment, but this time, Jerry and Marla are making out in the closet, really going at it.
Getting pretty hot and heavy.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to leave after it's over? If we have sex?
I can't think of anything more disturbing than closing my eyes and hearing you imitate Marla and ask, am I going to leave after we have sex?
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. He wonders, hey, who would give you that idea? And of course she says Elaine, but what is Jerry's response here?
I wouldn't put too much stock in what Elaine has to say about relationships. She comes from a broken home. And I mean that literally. A tree fell right on her house and cracked the whole structure. Her parents got along beautifully, which is not true, by the way. But the house is in bad shape.
That must be it's almost like a double whammy. He's making a joke, but he's making another joke to himself.
Yeah.
Since he knows how Elaine comes from an estranged family. So what's going on here with Jerry's joke? Because it's Marla is very vulnerable. That she is a little uncomfortable just with the whole, the issue of being a virgin and liking Jerry, wanting to be with him. It's a big deal. And he's the one cracking jokes to the point where she's like, I'm going to leave.
Yeah.
Which made me wonder, is it really what Elaine said that made her want to leave? Or is it the fact that Jerry's like being super sarcastic?
I think Elaine has planted this seed in Marla's head, and now she's kind of spooked.
Yeah.
So now she's less trusting of Jerry.
Oh, absolutely.
And Jerry's being very light about it. But he's also trying to dissuade her, or persuade, I guess I should say.
Mm-hmm. Or dissuade her from, from Elaine's advice, or at least whatever Elaine said. This just seems like typical Jerry, like such an inappropriate moment to make a joke, but you're going to do it anyways.
That's like it's almost Larry Charles-esque. You got this kind of not dark moment, but this moment where it'd be inappropriate, like you said, and let me try and squeeze a little funny out of it.
Yeah, I mean, Marla is so vulnerable right now, and to make a joke out of it is, I don't know, it's typical Jerry, but it works. So we cut over to the improv right back at the beginning, and Jerry's really grilling Elaine here, wants to know what she said to Marla.
Nothing, I was just giving her the straight dope.
More like a dope was giving it to her straight.
Good, that's a good joke.
Yeah, I love that. I love this stuff here. We don't get it that often. Jerry and Elaine, just the two of them talking about relationships and their own time together.
Hey, we're gonna get it come June 3rd. Hey-o.
Well, and Jerry makes the joke, hey, another cup of coffee with her and she'll wind up in a covenant. Elaine does say, though, she could have said a lot more. Is that a threat?
Yeah, I think so.
I have a lot more dirt on you, Jerome, than you'd like to know.
Jerry says to her, what is this about leaving after sex? Did I ever leave with you? And Elaine, I feel like Elaine has the upper hand in this conversation. She says, you might have if I had stayed, which is, that's a burn on Jerry.
Almost any time Jerry and Elaine talk about their sex life, it's always ended with, some kind of jab from Elaine to get the upper hand. So apparently Elaine got served with papers. Ping is suing her. So she needs Marla to testify, and this means Jerry has to be nice to her.
I was trying to be.
I guess don't be a total creep to Marla and make her feel uncomfortable. Meanwhile, George is flirting it up with a woman, and Jerry's shocked, that Susan is the one that broke up with him since, they had a real good thing going. And here's that great, Elaine line, just recapping the saga of George and Susan.
The downfall of Susan Ross.
Mm-hmm. It's sad, because just how many, pretty much everything in her life has been ruined. Her clothes, her family, her job.
And there's more to come. There's at least two more instances I could think where Susan's going to get the short end of the stick.
Yeah, very short end of the stick. Eventually, but so George, meanwhile, is chatting it up with some lady, right? And he's using the same move from before. I'm a writer, NBC. But it completely backfires.
How can you write that crap? Hey, Carol, this guy's writing a sitcom.
A sitcom? And he actually used it to hit on me. Yeah.
So,
great ending. Just real quick, man. It's karma.
Yeah, George was making out like a bandit. He got everything he wanted, writing job, lost the girlfriend. Now he can hit on girls with this great sounding job. Mm-hmm. And the first girl he goes after, it doesn't test.
Kind of similar to the wedding ring thing in the was that the apartment? I think? Yeah, when he has the wedding ring on, all these women are hitting on him. I'm not married.
So we got the woman who gets hit on by George. She's played by actress Daria Ruggles. So I'm not sure why she's so turned off by George. I don't know if it's because he didn't have the ski lift ticket on his jacket.
Oh, yeah.
But the only credit I found on her was she was on 21 episodes of Days of Our Lives.
Oh.
And we got Carol, is played by Dana Winston. She was on Designing Women, The Munsters, Today, 21 Jump Street, LA Law for 4 episodes. She was in Junior with Arnold Schwarzenegger and an episode of Arliss.
Wow, very cool. Well, I don't really have much to add to that, so should we move on to stand-up?
All right.
In ancient tribal cultures, they would actually sacrifice a virgin. They thought that would do something. They would find some girl that had never been out with anybody, and they would throw her into a volcano. I mean, there's a first date you'll never forget. She winds up in heaven talking with Chuck Woolery, so... Tell me, Lisa, how did the date end? Not well, Chuck, not well. Well, if you'd like to be thrown into a volcano again, we'll pay for it.
This stand-up seems really dated. Because even as I was growing up, the love connection was on its way out.
Right.
So I know Chuck Woolery was the host, but that's all I have to say about that.
Let's get the hell out of here. It's like 1 in the morning.
So, what do you think?
All right. Apologies to our listeners if we were a little low energy this week.
Let's talk about this episode.
Our 50th episode. Or, I'm sorry, Seinfeld's 50th episode. I think we're up to like 54 at this point.
Yeah.
But, yeah, man, this is a pretty big moment in Seinfeld. You know, halfway to that 100. Pretty big accomplishment that they've made it this far.
Who knew?
Who knew? But what do you think about The Virgin?
Coming into this, I'm like, this is going to be a monstrous episode. And it is, but it didn't hit like, for me, the Bubble Boy hit or the Cheever Letters, man. That was a sleeper that everybody loves. So this one, as much as I love it, it doesn't quite have the same panache that the previous two had.
I have to agree. It was a little tough, and I was a little disappointed as I was watching it, saying, "Oh, this one doesn't hit me as much as." You know, I know we're spoiling a little bit here. Next week, the contest, sort of elevates the show, and this is appropriate, being the 50th episode. Being a Peter Melman script, it's kind of like a smaller scale. It's not as wacky or as out of the box as like a Larry David or a Larry Charles script might be. It definitely feels like something from season 2.
Well, let me pose this to you. Just like we had the Trips Part 1 and 2, just like we had the pitch, the ticket, just like we had the wallet, the watch, the Bubble Boy, the Cheever Letters, this episode is kind of setting up what we're going to get in the contest. So again, all these two-parters could be 1-hour episodes, and this could be just setting up for the mother of all Seinfeld episodes, the contest.
And we kind of, well, at least, I don't know if you feel the same way, but I think the part 2s are always better. I think, well,
the payoffs happen.
Yeah, I guess the pitch, the ticket works as 1 hour, but the watch is better than the wallet. Cheever Letter is better than the Bubble Boy. Yeah, and in this case, the contest's a little bit better. Just a little bit better.
I still love The Virgin. Like, it's a great show. But I really, going into this, I guess I had more hype or more anticipation that this is going to be a great episode. But yeah, something was off. Unless it was just us.
No, and I don't think it was, I think we were definitely off. But let's talk about some issues. Like, the whole Kramer subplot, I feel like he was...
Or lack thereof.
Yeah, lack thereof. I think he was totally underwritten this episode. Elaine has that great moment with the diaphragm, which I think is perfect. But that's about it.
Yeah.
I mean, we like the scene in Monks when she's talking to Marla about, how, sex is overrated and, all the issues she has with men leaving after it. But I just feel like, this is, again, like a Jerry George episode with these two other characters, kind of shoehorned in.
It's like the Farrelly brothers pitched in their forgotten pitch to Jerry and Larry.
Actually, we didn't bring this up at the top, but the Farrelly brothers had another idea that they sold to the Seinfeld writers. It had a bizarre name. It wasn't like the whatever. It was She Comes With a Lot of Baggage, and in it, Jerry gets involved in the kinky life of a woman he met at the airport, while George gets the phone number of a woman he wants to date and then proceeds to forget it. There were no Kramer or Elaine subplots. And that's kind of like what this feels like.
Yeah.
Did the Farrelly brothers pitch this idea and then Peter Melman was kind of stuck with the challenge of, okay, now I have to pad out the story in with a premise that's already full enough. You have the pilot, you have Marla the Virgin. How are we going to shoehorn in Kramer and Elaine into this mess? It's a funny episode, and I think that the scenes work best with Jerry and George, right?
Yeah, that one scene of Jerry and George in the diner is, I think, what defines this episode for me.
Yeah.
Of them kind of giving the bullet points of what constitutes having a relationship or having a girlfriend.
But yeah, ultimately, it kind of feels like part one.
Yeah.
Of a two-part story, but really the only connective tissue between this and the contest is Marla.
Yeah.
That's it. You could also argue that maybe the visa is like part 3.
Okay.
With the whole ping
That's a good point. I like that.
Which is also part 2 to the cafe with Babu.
Right. Okay.
But ultimately, man, what do you think? What are you going to give this week's episode?
I think I'm going to take a page out of Marla's book and say that you could fit 8 hooks in here out of 10.
Nice. I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to give this one 8 pea pods doused with MSG.
Oh, right. a fine rating.
Yeah. And ultimately, though, I'm going to give this one an even Steven. Even Steven to pretty good, but more towards the even Steven. How do you feel?
I'm gonna piggyback on what you said. Same thing.
Oh, nice. Wow, we're pretty efficient here for an hour and a half long podcast.
Or just tired.
Okay.
All right, that's going to do it for us here on this week's episode. Reach out to us. We got an email, seincast@gmail.com. We got a Twitter page. We got a Facebook. We got an Instagram. We got a Pinterest. We got a Tumblr.
Yeah, we've got...
That's it.
Oh, we're also on iTunes.
Yeah.
Leave us a rating and review if you get a sec. Thanks to everyone who's done it so far. I know there's more of you out there, but seriously, all the ratings, all the kind words you guys have to say means a lot to us. It keeps us going. So thanks again. Vinny, what episode are we discussing next week?
We're going to be discussing the 11th episode of Season 4, The Contest.
And I have to ask you, are you still master of your domain?
I'm king of the county.
I'm lord of the manor.
We're out.
Seincast is not endorsed by Castle Rock Entertainment, Sony Pictures, or NBC. It is intended for entertainment and information purposes only. The official Seinfeld site can be found at sonypictures.com/TV/Seinfeld. Seinfeld, the Seinfeld logo, and all names, pictures, and audio of Seinfeld characters are registered trademarks and/or copyrights of their respective trademark and copyright holders.
I'll tell you what, why don't we get a couple of dishes and we'll just share them?
What are you getting?
I think I'm gonna get a chow fun.
What's a chow fun?
It's a broad noodle.
What do you mean a broad noodle?
It's a big flat noodle.
Well, I don't want a big flat noodle.